Hi, I'm Alan Burdick, Carpenter Shop Supervisor here at the University of Utah. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to share everything you need to know about roof access here on campus. In this video, you will be learning the University of Utah's access procedures, safety information, typical access locations, and to recognize the different roofing systems on campus. There are over 200 buildings on campus, each with a roofing system as unique as the buildings they cover. For example, look at this soccer field. It is used for sports, but also doubles as a roof for the parking structure below. Each roof keeps out the elements and supports a variety of mechanical equipment. When you gain access to these areas, it is your responsibility to practice caution and to keep yourself and others safe. There are only a few roofing systems that are designed for ordinary pedestrian traffic. This area right here seems like a great place to eat lunch or study. But in all actuality, this plaza is the roofing system for 2 levels of the Marriott Library below. The other roof areas on campus are secure and entry is controlled through building access. These special roofing and mechanical keys are carefully crafted and entrusted to students and staff here at the university. Before you are allowed to check out a roof access key, you will need to have official work that requires roof access, complete a fall protection training course or any other applicable training, watch this roof access video and complete the testing procedures, and finally, read and acknowledge the rules governing the access permission. Keep in mind that violating these procedures could directly affect you and your ability to maintain your roof access. Always keep your keys close and be sure never to misplace them. Always lock the roof when your work is complete and double check it to make sure that the access point is secured. Be sure to properly use the access logs when you begin and end your work. Do not under any circumstances loan yours or borrow anyone else's keys. Instead, speak with your supervisor or department head to gain the permissions you will need to check out your own set of keys. Be sure when your work or project is complete that any keys you have checked out are promptly returned. Failure to follow these procedures can result in theft or damage to university property. The pitched roofs, like the ones up here at Fort Douglas, require special training and equipment to safely access. Do not venture out onto this type of roof unless you have met the training and equipment requirements and have coordinated with your employer. Fortunately, most of the roofing areas that you'll need to work at or stage an experiment on are some form of a low-slope roofing system. These generally present less fall hazards, provided that you observe regulations regarding proximity to unprotected edges or other hazardous areas. A protected roof edge is formed by a parapet or railing that is at least 42 inches high. If a parapet wall or railing of this height does not protect the roof edge, you must maintain a distance of 10 feet back from the edge. Stay alert. Many roof edges have parapets that vary in height, or that have openings or fall-offs. When raising or lowering tools or materials, be sure to cordon off a proper staging area. Never toss anything off a roof. Instead, lower it from a safe, secure location to the staging area below. There are a variety of approved tie-off points. Make sure you receive the proper training from OEHS or your employer to be able to identify these. Before you access a rooftop, be sure to keep your health and safety in mind. Some less considered items might include sunglasses, sunscreen, plenty of water, and proper attire for the climate. Avoid prolonged periods of time on the roof in hot weather. It can be easy to get carried away, and you do not want to get stuck on the roof with heat exhaustion. Never be out on a roof while lightning is present or approaching your area. Avoid going out on rooftops during bad weather, and if you must be on a roof in adverse conditions, wear appropriate clothing and make sure another individual knows where you are and how long you will be working, especially if you are not familiar with the work area. Some roofs you won't have any problem at all gaining access to. Like this simple walkout access here. Or a hatch like this one. There are some roofs that have a long way to climb up a ladder. Or a stairwell. A few can even be entered from an elevator. Let's go over and identify some of the different types of materials that are used to form a low-sloped roof. A traditional asphalt-based built-up roof, also known as a BUR, may be topped with a layer of tar and gravel, or a granulated cap sheet, or a layer of reflective aluminum coating. These roofs are relatively tough and a comparatively safe surface to walk on, but can be difficult to repair, so tread lightly. Most of the low-sloped roofs on campus are covered with a single layer of a thin waterproof membrane, a system known as single-ply roofing. This layer can either be a black rubber-like material known as EPDM or a white thermoplastic membrane, either PVC or TPO. This single-ply membranes are easier to install and more weather-resistant than a built-up roof, but are more vulnerable to damage and can be very slippery to walk on when wet or icy. When working on the roof, do your best to protect the surface. There are ways to safely set up your work area or research projects without causing damage. If you do not know how to safely set up a staging area, make sure you contact the carpenter shop. These pads can be placed underneath your equipment as a barrier. Always use the walking pads when you see these and they're available. A single roof here on campus and all of its assets can add up to more than $500,000, not to mention all of the special equipment used for research education underneath. Do not let your equipment tear the surface. Do not leave any metal sheets, screws, or panels lying around. Even sliding a rope can burn through the membrane. A protected roof edge is formed by a parapet or railing that is at least 42 inches high. If a parapet wall or railing of this height does not protect the roof edge, you must maintain a distance of 10 feet back from the edge. Protect the roof. Do not set tools or materials directly on the roof membrane. Remove all materials and tools from the roof when you leave. Replace all cover panels and leave equipment secured. Contact the carpenter shop for any questions about roofing systems. Be safe. Use caution. And follow your training. While you work on the rooftops.